So with all the cards revealed for Riftbound, we are going to be looking at 5 deck lists that are going to be making waves this meta. Now, of course, they might not necessarily be the most optimized, but they are going to give you a good foundation on what you could probably expect to see when this set first releases in October. All of that and more starting right now. So now that all the cards are revealed, we are able to start going ahead and building and testing these decks to see what we're able to do and if we can really define a good meta as we go into this game. Now, of course, it is going to be released in October like we have said, but there are still multiple ways for you to be able to play this game, and that's something that's pretty dang exciting. So if you go ahead and go over to Piltover's archive, you are going to be able to join the Discord, and then you can go ahead and find people to actually play with, which is pretty cool to be able to see. With that, you're going to be able to also see a bunch of different deck lists, play with other people on Tabletop Simulator, or even on Pixelborn, which the guy who is developing Pixelborn is regularly updating it. And also, I got to say, a huge shout out to the people who have made Piltover's archive. They are doing an absolute boss job here. Now, the thing that you got to keep in mind with this, if you go ahead and go over to Piltover's archive, you can go in, you can build the deck, you can go to the deck library, go ahead and see what kind of decks are going to be there that you can go ahead and utilize. You can go from most liked, and biggest thing is that you can also see when they were last updated. And so there's a lot of fun stuff. Most viewed, for example, you can see, hey, this one has been updated recently. 12,000 views almost is pretty dang crazy. Updated 4 days ago, so they are regularly updating it. And now that all the cards are revealed, you can see exactly why that might be, and why, now new cards might actually be a bit more utilized or, refined than what we had when we only had a limited amount of cards. Because when there was like 150 cards revealed, we were all trying to make decks to try to figure out the meta here. Now, Willow, absolute boss here. Gotta say, big shout out to this guy. He has done an absolute boss job at making it possible for you to be able to play on Tabletop Simulator. And at the same time, if you want an easier way to learn how to play as well and to be able to test decks, there is Pixelborn, which is a free client for you to be able to play and use. And it actually has a pretty dang good player base. You're able to find a game pretty quickly. Now, with that being said, this is going to be the first place tournament deck for a pre-launch event here. And luckily, under Piltover's archives, you can go ahead and click on events. And there are 2 tournaments so far, one with Max that I was able to participate in, and then one which is the SFC pre-launch tournament. Now, Master Yi is just such a fun card because when you go ahead and defend alone, you are able to give that unit +2. That is absolutely huge. Then you also have Dreaming Tree. First time you choose a friendly unit with a spell here, each turn, draw 1. So you can just refill your hand. And there's a lot of things that you're going to be able to utilize to be able to do that. Such a good battlefield. Then on top of that, at the start of each player's beginning phase, that player gains 1 point, so it gets you a little bit closer. And I got to say, that's really cool too, because there's the other battlefield, which allows you to then, go ahead and have another victory point that you need to reach. So if you happen to play that, and you have to get to 9 victory points, and then you play Arena's Greatest and you get already 1 victory point, it's like, well, I just defeated your purpose of playing that battlefield. And then the battlefields are literally just kind of blank. They don't do anything. So pretty funny there as well. And then Fortified Position, probably the best one for Master Yi, because you are able to add shield +2 to a unit as well. So if you have like a Master Yi there into a battlefield, someone attacks in, you're going to be able to give +2 with Fortified Position, and then +2 with, the Bladesmith Legend card. I mean, come on, that is just so cool. This is my favorite deck and why I do it first. I also love the Defy to be able to counter a spell. Charm is going to be one of the best, spells to be able to use, because especially when you are defending, you are going to be able to just bring them to you. They're going to be able to get buffed, and then you can go ahead and just absolutely devastate your opponent with cards that they thought were safe in their base. No, not necessarily. And same thing also, if there's something really dangerous in the base, let's get it out. Let's take it over. And then now they have to attack back in. and your units are going to be buffed as well, which is going to be really cool to be able to see. Now, this is one of my favorite cards in the game as well. Love this card, especially with just how it's utilized with Master Yi. Stalwart Poro, he is so good because he has shield +1 while he is a defender, which means that Master Yi, when defending alone, adds +2, and if you're at fortified position, that adds +2. So he is a 5 potentially for a 2 cost. And then you have stuff that you can go ahead and buff as well. And then hand in hand with that is also going to be Wielder of the Water. I mean, able to add +2 when attacking or +2 when defending. And so, I mean, that's, again, going to be just so much utilization there with that. Such a good card. Absolutely love it. Now, I'm still a little bit iffy on this just because of the Recycle 2 is really tough sometimes to utilize there. But it's still a really good spell in this case to be able to counter pretty much any spell in that case. Now, take a shot every time I say in that case. With that, though, Kiana is going to be one of my favorite ones. Kiana? Yeah, that's right. Anyway, I'll say cards wrong some of the time. One of the best ones that I absolutely love here, Deflect. So you have to pay 1 to be able to pick her with a spell or ability. And then when you conquer or draw 1 or channel 1 rune exhausted. Really good. Then on top of that, Carnivorous Snapvine and Warwind. I also got to say, I really love that they chose to do 40 cards. Feels really good. Looks really good. Hopefully we'll keep the cost fairly down. The only reason Yu-Gi-Oh! Is as expensive is mainly due to hand traps, which really sucks. Because you're going to have to then go ahead and pay, $100 to get 3 hand traps that you need to be able to use them in your deck. It's annoying. But with that, that's a different rant for a different video. But the 40 cards, so cool. I love the alt arts that they have as well with this. Now, with that being said, Teemo. He's something that's actually been really surprising me, and I've been going against him a lot lately on Pixelborn. And he has Swift Scout, which you may pay 1 to hide a card with Hidden instead of just recycling it, which is really dang good. Then you can go ahead and put a Teemo unit you own into your hand from your champion zone or on the board. So you can go ahead, pay 1, tap him, and just go ahead and say, hey, I'm going to put that back in my hand, call it good. Then, of course, you have the 3 battlefields. You get to create units for holding, which is also really good. You may hide an additional card here, the best thing that you're able to have right there. And then also fortified position, adding +2 defenders, because a lot of times you are going to be activating hidden abilities, and it's going to be potentially a Teemo here in this case. And then you're adding +2 shield on top of that, which is pretty dang good. And that can really help you hold the battlefield as well. This is also one of the best Teemo cards. Well, there's only 2, but you get the idea. This is the best Teemo card just because when I defend or am played from the hidden zone, reveal the top 5 cards of your main deck and deal 1 to an enemy unit here for each card and then recycle them. Now, that is going to be going hand in hand with Nocturne, which isn't in this deck. And this actually might have been not utilized before the card was revealed. But essentially, it's Nocturne or one of the other ones. It's a purple card. If you go ahead and reveal it, but don't reveal it and draw something, then you are able to go ahead and play it for free. So, I mean, he goes ahead and searches, you find it, you play it, and you're able to add +4 to your battlefield as well. That's scary. That's just scary. Otherwise, though, it's pretty good. You're able to get some good card draw. You're able to bounce back units as well. You're able to destroy some good units. And then, of course, Unchecked Power as a board clear. Really good card. And just all in all, pretty dang awesome. Now, 8 cost, 3 recycle. I would probably replace this one personally just because of how expensive it is. And he is only playing 1. But choose an enemy unit out of battlefield, take control of it, and recall it. You get to send it to your base, and it doesn't count as a move. So, just, I mean, really cool right there. Great way to get out of trouble if you find yourself in some. Now, Viktor is going to be one of the best champions probably in this meta. And I say that, I mean, you guys, he's just so good. He's one of the starter decks, but then just his legend ability to go ahead and pay 1 to tap 1, play a 1 recruit token. If you go ahead and you're playing, turn 1 with an extra rune out onto the battlefield, so you start with 3, then you're able to go ahead and play a 2 cost and a 1 cost recruit unit. You're good. You look great. And then you're able to take both battlefields turn 2. And you're like, gee, thanks. I love that. And of course, this Viktor, he's going to be your champion on the outside of the deck, which you can then go ahead anytime a main card dies that isn't a token unit, basically, you are able to then create a one might unit. Hidden Blade to take care of dangerous stuff, or to also cause you to draw 2 cards. Really good. Pull of the week, you destroy one of your units, and you go ahead and they have to destroy one of theirs. With more of the rampy decks like Volley Bear or things of that nature, they normally have to pay for a really high cost because all they really can afford is one card per turn because it is so bulky. Then otherwise, you got a lot of token makers. Creates 1 token when you take a battlefield, creates 1 when you play it, and then goes ahead and when you play it and it's your second card that you played for a turn, then you get to play 2. Really good. Grand Stratagem is just the win all card when you have a couple of units out, especially if you're at 6, for example. Then you can go ahead and play this card. All your units get buffed by 5. That is so hard to come back from, and that almost can guarantee you the win of the game right there. Harness Dragon, hard to get out. Still really good, though, because you can kill an enemy unit by choice. Ari's really good as well, because you can -2, which can be a huge change. And Falling Comments. So, really good decks all in all here. I absolutely love this deck. And, I mean, Riftbound Meta does an absolutely great job. He's a guy that's just playing game after game after game, also creating some really good content. You probably know about him at this point, but if you don't, go ahead and give him a follow, give him a subscribe in this case, because he is a really great player, someone that you should be, keeping watch on, because, man, he is all over this game and doing just a really great job here. Now, we got another one for you. We got a fun one. It is gonna be Blind Monk Lee Sin. You're able to pay 1, tap it, and buff a friendly unit. So guaranteed buff. That's pretty dang good. I mean, right there. And Lee Sin, of course, is going to be able to get buffed as many times as you want. You're going to be playing 2, 1 outside of the deck, 1 in the deck. You're going to have Charm to be able to move things, Defy to counter things. Oro, just because he's so good in general as a 2-cost. Probably one of the best 2-costs in the game. The Hourglass, you're going to be able to destroy it and save like a Lee Sin, for example. Wielder of Water, really good as well. This guy's pretty surprising as well because you can go ahead and accelerate him, and then you can spend buffs to take down his recycle. So if you take down 2, you can get a 5-cost out for 3 without needing to recycle. Then also you can just go ahead and buff an exhausted unit. And if that happens to be Lee Sin, then you're in a really good spot. Then on top of that, Windswept Hillock, you can have ganking on all of your characters there, which means they can just hop right over to the other battlefield and you're awesome. Monastery of Hirana. Sure. When you conquer here, you may spend a buff to draw 1. So that's really good too. And then Obelisk of Power, you're able to start with 1 extra rune at the start of your deck. This is going to be a really interesting one. It has the potential to be really good as well. It can be difficult sometimes to maybe get things going, though, with this deck. Especially because, like Viktor, you might be able just to flood the board. With Master Yi, you might be able to just defend really strong. So by the time you start getting units out that you really want to have, too late, Master Yi has already really developed the board, and now all of them have Defender +2, essentially. Really tough to be able to see. Now, Sett here is going to be a really interesting card, or as a legend at least, because when a buff unit you control would die, you may recycle rune and exhaust me to spend its buff and recall it exhausted instead. I mean, you have plot armor on your cards, essentially. Now, of course, you get to use it once a turn, but still, that's really good. And then Sett Brawler, when I am played and when I conquer, buff me. Really good card right there as well. He's also awesome to, just move in because you have Showstopper, and he can just get readied up, attack in, call it good. The other set is also really good because depending on the amount of buffed units that you have, he gets +1 just automatically. So really cool there. Unyielding Spirit, prevent all spell and ability damage this turn. Again, you can protect yourself from like Teemo and stuff like that. That definitely would be one that I would hide or use as a side deck against Teemo, excuse me. And then otherwise, yeah, this comes in and can buff something else. It really sucks to have to play it on turn 1, but you'd rather have a unit out. Still really good. And when you play me, buff me. Awesome. And then Call to Glory, one of the best cards, adding +3. And you can spend a buff instead. So you could be completely tapped out. Your opponent might not think that this is coming, and then you can just go ahead and spend a buff, even from a unit that might not be at the attacking base. Play this for free. Target a unit in a battlefield and buff it. So really good. Also, Fiora is really good because if you buff it, it goes 5, has deflect, ganking, and shield. I mean, it's just awesome. Then Lee Sin. But man, I mean, these decks are just really cool. I gotta say that I'm pretty excited to see what's gonna be coming as now that we have all the cards, what cards are going to be actually utilized here as this new meta continues to develop and unwind. But anyway, guys, let me know, what legends are you most excited for, and what ones are you looking forward to playing most when this card game gets released in October? Go ahead and let me know down in the comments below, and until next time, guys, have a good one.